So, Diablo Immortal. I've had my piece on it for a hot minute, but I think it is time to talk about it because uh, it's a garbage, just dumpster fire level of monetization. It is. I refuse to play it because it is downright predatory. See, Diablo Immortal was created by Blizzard in collaboration with NetEase, and that is a major talking point because NetEase is an Asian mobile gaming manufacturer. Yes, I'm using the word manufacturer here because they are not a publisher. They specifically create games that will get you addicted and make you spend money in an endless cycle. See, in the Asian market, real money transactions for a video game have a much lower level of stigma. In fact, they can sometimes be praised. The way they see it in a lot of the Asian market is that you are taking the fruit of real world effort and then applying that to further yourself in your hobby, your video games. It isn't seen as pay to win, it is seen as work hard in real life, you will work harder in game. And that kind of lies where the crux of our issue is. With the Asian gaming market being so pro microtransaction, pro cash shop, the company NetEase and Blizzard see it working, and they won't change anything for the Western audience. But the Western audience is almost always tapped dry. Countries like the US are hammered with ads 24/7 that encourage them to spend more, more, and more. And when you're barely sustaining living with like $200,000 a year sometimes, some areas, having pay to win mechanics in a free to play game that's part of a franchise you like is just really just hammering the nail in the coffin. Every single little thing in Diablo Immortal being an opportunity to spend money. Every dungeon reward is an opportunity to spend money. It forces outrage. There is a way to deal with this while still being able to monetize just as, if not more effectively, for the Western market. There is a single type of MTX that every person in the Western market will enjoy. That's cosmetics. Western market is very consistent with its love of pretty things and vanity, and video games are no exception to this. If you make your game more skill and knowledge based, like Path of Exile, you can also have the obscenely high prices for cosmetics. You can charge like 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks for a cosmetic armor set, and people will buy it fairly often and hardly say a word because, if it comes with extra money bucks to buy other cosmetics with, it's worth it. Path of Exile does it. Why can't Blizzard? Why can't NetEase? You can also go the Warframe route with MTX, where everything is extremely, extremely easy to get and grind for. As a free-to-play user, it's extremely reasonable, but you also have the option to just spend money to skip the grind if you want, or to buy something you want. How does Warframe do it? Well, it only has one premium currency that is used to buy items with money, and that is Platinum. And they allow Platinum itself to be tradable between its player base. So you can go and farm Platinum by finding prime parts, sell those to other players for Platinum, and then you can use that Platinum to get anything you want. You have zero need to spend a single dime. Compare that to Diablo Immortal, where every dungeon is an opportunity to spend money. They want you to spend $1 on a dungeon chest because it opens the gates, prevents you from being able to have that pop-up show up that says, "Are you sure you want to spend this money?" Because that pop-up is a barrier to entry to pay. It sort of acts as a physical wall in front of you that forces you to think and be like, wait, am I about to spend like $50 on something in a video game? Why? They don't want you to ask that why. Because with that $1 microtransaction, you get past that first pop-up. When that first pop-up is gone, it doesn't show up anymore on a lot of phones, unless you have specific settings turned on. There's no double check. So the floodgates are open for that $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 transaction, all at the press of a button and the push of the game's impulses. And then there's the travesty of the emblems. You see, you need to spend money on the game because that's the only way to get those tradable legendary gems. You trade using platinum bars. So that matter, Quinn69, a popular hardcore, that is Iron Man, or One Life, Path of Exile streamer that I watch, spent over 16 grand US before getting a 5-star gem to drop. Meaning that anyone who is to play with the self-found restriction is straight out of luck and money. And if you don't want to spend 10 to 20 grand US to get your loot, you need to order them on the market. which requires platinum, which in turn requires eternal orbs. You get about 10 times your amount of platinum, your amount of eternal orbs in platinum, with the highest expenditure being 5,000 orbs or 50,000 platinum, which, no, it's more than the $50 purchase of 1,450 orbs. But it's slightly less than that $100 purchase of 7,200 orbs, which is the next tier up. Well, if you go to the market, there's actually none being sold. They're not just simply rare, they're a literal jackpot-only drop. If you combine this with the fact of there being none on the market and Quinn needing to spend 16,000 USD to get a single 5-star, you come to the conclusion of the probable price of a 5-star legendary gem on the market being closer to, I want to say, 500,000 to a million platinum bars. And that's really all I wanted to talk about, though, because what sounds easier to spend, 500,000 platinum or $5,000? Done this way by design. If you need a reason to laugh, China, the intended market for this game, has actually suspended the Chinese social media accounts for Diablo Immortal, and the release for China is suspended indefinitely. And it's looking to me like China thinks that the game is too predatory for its market. So they really screwed up in the area they were supposed to be for. They've angered their Western audience, and they seem to have angered the government of their Eastern audience. There's nowhere for it to properly exist. I know there's a lot of people who are going to be like, oh, well, I'm having fun. That's perfectly fine. You should have fun. Outside of the microtransactions, if there weren't any microtransactions, it would be an amazing game. It would be a great mobile Diablo game. But it's so heavily monetized, and it's just downright abusive player base. You should have fun. That's fine. If you're having fun, that's fine. But the company that makes the game is not respecting you, the player, the person who is likely to spend money on their game. It's not a way to play. You really shouldn't be playing it because there's no respect for you. That's all I have to say on it. Much love and stay sexy. I'm not gonna, I don't have any footage of it that I want to show because it's a garbage game, at least in its current state. Maybe I will update my review of it later, but personally, I think it is a 0 out of 5 for me. Just do not play, avoid at all costs. It is just straight up predatory. Like Genshin Impact can be played more free to play than this. And free to play for Genshin Impact is like years of grind. For that matter, you straight up be better playing RuneScape than Diablo Immortal. So go play RuneScape. Yeah.